Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Emerald City tonight. I am going to be the DM tonight, Chameleon Ice, as you can tell by me being the first person to speak. I'm joined here tonight with TGE, who is playing our Janice here tonight, Sauve, and also joined by OPT Lawyer, who is playing our Doom tonight, Swiftfoot. So yes, tonight this is Emerald City. And I'm going to do a bit of a recap of what happened last time. Last time on Emerald City, the boys came back from their wonderful dance at the Wrecking Ball, and Sauve's secret identity was revealed to people who probably already kind of could guess it if they'd worked hard enough. They spent a wonderful night together.
So it was never going to be found out.
Right, yeah, exactly.
No, it wasn't. If you didn't tell them, they weren't going to learn.
No.
But on the following day after that major reveal, and that wonderful little sleepover, several things happened. First key of which was that Jacob, Swiftfoot there, he went to his lab friend to tell them about the formula that he found when they were out at the Wrecking Ball.
And in a trash can.
Yes, in a trash can. And he was informed of a couple things. First, he was informed of the fact that formula was only part of what they needed to further understand Psi Delta, the virus that Jacob had been infected with. And also what Jacob had uncovered by dipping into the recesses of his mind was that formula specifically that he had somehow was connected to Nightshade, the vigilante superhero in Emerald City. And on top of that connection, he knew that the previous night when they were out dancing, Nightshade had left a message for the heroes, telling them to come and meet him for an evening of training that night. Also, in addition to all that stuff, our buddy Sauve was out doing a wonderful day of work, which unfortunately meant that he was not going to be able to attend the training with Nightshade. So while Sauve was out working, he overheard a conversation between his boss and apparently his boss's brother, Arthur. Among other little major reveals that happened during that conversation, such as Mr. Sammetti's Italian accent being totally fake. Sauve also learned that they were planning some sort of a strange event, something known as a catering, that Sauve was going to potentially help them to deal with. For some reason, they talked about it in very hushed terms, so wherever this catering thing is, it can't be any good, at least as far as you know. While Sauve was getting that important information, Jacob actually had gone out to meet with Nightshade for an evening of training. Nightshade's training consisted of taking Jacob over to a bank robbery that was in progress and watching how he dealt with the problem. And Jacob dealt with the problem admirably, saving innocents, protecting civilians, taking down bank robbers, and doing everything that he needed to do. And he, of course, left the scene as soon as the police arrived.
That's what vigilantes do.
As they do. So Jacob got out, talked with Nightshade afterward. Nightshade congratulated him, but Jacob made a few things clear. One, that he was not seeking to be under Nightshade's tutelage, but he was willing to get information from the guy. He also asked him a bit of information about, I believe I called it Gendyne.
Yes.
The company that had developed Psi Delta. And all he got in response from Nightshade about that was the fact that Gendyne is a company to stay away from.
Wait, was it Gendyne?
It was Gentech.
Gentech.
Because Gendyne's mine.
Right, yeah.
I was thinking that. It's like, I knew I've seen Gendyne somewhere.
Was it Gendyne? Because
Right.
that was totally mine.
Right,
You can use it if you want. It's perfectly canon in any of the Bay City stuff.
I mean, no entire universe is together, but no, I'm writing in my big crayon Gentech.
In your big what?
My big crayon. It's
Okay.
how I'm writing. I don't know.
Okay. No, I heard Cran first, and I'm like, oh no, not you two. Krim and I get into enough fights about Cran versus Crayon, Creek versus Crick. Like, those are the two that I don't get.
Jeez, I have a crick in my neck, not a creak in my neck.
Right.
Exactly.
There we
go. Anyway, moving on. Enough about that.
Yes, after that, where Nightshade didn't really tell Jacob anything he didn't already know, aside from the fact to stay away from them. Jacob was on his way back home, and Sauve contacted Jacob via text, telling him that he needs to get the information that he just got. And that's where we left off our intrepid heroes, with Jacob on his way over to meet with his new best buddy.
Right.
So-
Best buddies. Do you want to build a snowman?
You mean I'm his best bunny?
Come on, let's go play.
That too.
Yes! Yes! So in for this!
Yes, you are his best buddy.
Woohoo!
So, any questions about the recap before we jump back into things? Sounds like a no. Okay, so that means we are going to start then issue 5, titled Responsibilities. On the cover, we see what appears to be a wonderful black and white rendition of a superhero rabbit. This rabbit, for anybody who saw previous issues, is known clearly as Captain Bucky. And he's wonderfully rendered in a black and white tone that looks like an old-timey newspaper. And on the bottom of that, right underneath the issue, it says, "One night only." And no, he is not green, it's black and white. And so we open up, and we come in on the first panel, which I'm guessing is Jacob going over to Sove's house?
Yeah, he's probably in a sprint, knowing, after getting that call, because he wants to get there fast, so he's probably running pretty fast.
Alrighty. So, Jacob, you make your way over to Sove's house, and I'm guessing you unmask before you head in, right?
Oh, yeah, I actually assumed at some point he had already done that, but yeah. Yeah, the first panel would be him getting into Sove's, neighborhood area already, changed into civilian clothes.
Alrighty. So Jacob goes into Henry's house now, mild-mannered. And, Henry, what does he see when he enters in? Actually, what do you do, Jacob? Do you knock? Do you sneak in?
I'd knock.
Okay.
At this point, his father wouldn't necessarily think anything of me showing up, so.
No, but let's be honest, neither one of them are home.
Oh, right, yeah.
Very true.
There was
Both
just
your
a
parents are
there was just a bank robbery. Neither one of them are home.
That's true.
You are exactly correct.
But still, he rings the doorbell anyway, because he doesn't know that.
So, yeah, Michael is super excited because it's Michael, so he gets up and answers the door.
Alrighty. So,
Sam's like, damn it, I was trying to take a drink!
Michael opens the door and sees Jacob out front. And Jacob, he immediately kind of just goes, "Oh! Ooh, hi, Jacob!
Hey, Mike.
Are you here to see Henry?
Yes.
Great. Mom and Dad aren't home.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that means we can talk about hero stuff. Come on."
Right. So, he's gonna go ahead and walk in.
Yep, Michael enters, ushers you in, and closes the door behind you.
Kind of he's stretching out just a bit because he looks not exhausted, tired, but he definitely looks, he looks like he's been running for quite a while.
So, when you get in there, Henry is sitting there lounging on the couch. This is the most unput together casual you've seen him ever. He is just wearing a pair of, we're going to go with a slightly stereotype here. In theory, they should be baggy shorts, but obviously he bought them 2 sizes too small for reasons nobody will know. So they are skin-tight shorts. And a t-shirt that in bright block letters says, "I'm not procrastinating. I'm doing side quests."
Nice. So Jacob sees this, and he looks at you, tilts his head kind of thing, Henry, you okay? You definitely... You look like you just had a cat lay on your keyboard. I mean, you look a little...
Comfortable?
Sure, I guess that's a good word for it.
He's like this whenever he gets off of work.
Oh, okay.
Except when I have to go off of work and immediately throw on spandex.
Yeah, it's close enough.
You accidentally buy the small size and everyone thinks you're wearing spandex.
Oh, pure accident.
Are you accusing me of something, Michael?
No, I'll go eat my spaghetti.
Okay.
He soaks off to the table.
Anyway, so question, Jacob.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on maybe a one-time per diem gig?
One time, huh?
Per diem per day?
Okay.
DEIM.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael. We know how to spell it.
Yes. What? What do you mean exactly? What are you talking about?
So, thankfully, I've already explained this to somebody who is currently in the bathroom. So I don't have to fill him in when he gets back here. But at work today, my boss's brother came in, and apparently my boss is a fake Italian, but we can get into that later. Anyway,
hold. What?
yeah, apparently his accent's entirely fake.
Oh.
Like it's just easier if I do this, and he plays the recording.
Okay. So we listen, and Jacob just kind of sits there and just kind of stares at the recorder for a while, and kind of looks over at you. He's like, that didn't sound all that legal.
No, but I mean, we can't really do anything with this because if the one person we go to, if we go with this to the cops and if we bring this to my dad, one, he's going to wonder why I was recording things, and two, it's going to get back to me because my boss knows my dad's a cop.
Okay,
So,
fair.
As you heard at the end of that recording, he's going to want me to work the catering gig. He's going to be asking for more people. It'd probably be nice if, some help was there.
Gotcha. When is this?
GM, when was this?
They actually did not say.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I don't know, soon-ish, I think. I mean, I don't know, it's just...
Gotcha.
It was a little scary, popping the recording open with my boss and his sleazy used car salesman of brother. I mean, I don't think I ever want to have the veal parm ever again because I've seen all the product in both their hairs and now I know where the olive oil comes from. And,
okay, ew, oh wow.
You can clearly tell he's exaggerating a little bit because he's
Right.
Henry.
Right, yeah. But still.
Yeah, it's just... if they're planning something, and especially if it involves, Nightshade, you were just in contact with him, and maybe we can warn him and let him know something's up so he's at least aware of it. This is a lot!
It is a lot.
At this point, you can hear the bathroom door close as Joey comes walking out. And he sees Jacob and he immediately goes, "Oh, hi, Jacob," and he's dressed normally. So
Hey,
he's not
Joey.
dressed nearly as down as Henry. Henry, did he accept? Is he going to be joining us on the catering gig?
Are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet.
I mean, assuming, again, this is all me being presumptuous and assuming, Mr. Zametti is going to need...
Well, you always say how you're like his best employee, right? Makes sense.
I mean, yes, I think part of it's because I'm usually there, and more importantly, I don't ask questions. This is the reason why, if I asked questions, I guarantee I'd be fired. It just so happens they happen to be at the table where my backpack was at, and I had the recorder, and...
Henry,
God!
calm down. It's okay. We're fine.
I'm sorry! I just found out my boss works for the mob!
I mean, okay, yeah, that's very true. I think that's what that all meant.
Or maybe his brother works for the mob and he's just, helping the family business.
I mean, that could very well be. He may not even be in the... You know what? That doesn't make it better.
No,
Joey immediately hugs you. It's like, it's okay. Whatever they're doing, they're embarrassing Italians everywhere.
yes. But Joey's in the middle of the hug, and Henry's like, and Henry's like, I need a drink. It just goes full ghost, walks through him, and goes over to the fridge and grabs a Pepsi.
I feel somehow offended.
I feel somehow like, wow, that just...
I'm sorry, I just...
You know, I know I've seen you do stuff like that in costume. It's just really weird to see you not in costume and do that.
Okay, you got caffeine. I'm a little calmer now.
How did that... You know what? Never mind.
Works.
Never mind. Anyway.
So I'm half ghost.
It goes right through him.
Yeah, that's...
Michael, you are not to repeat that joke. That is horrible.
Okay. Can I repeat it to Mom and Dad?
No!
Uh,
And he looks at Joey. Really? Seriously? You know he's going to want to repeat stuff like that.
sorry.
So what do we do? Do we wait for this thing, or do we act sooner?
Well, I mean, I think we need to know more details. I mean, I'm probably going to get asked about it tomorrow. But, you know, once we know the details of what's going on, we have this recording. It's about GM. This is me because I forgot. It was about Nightshade, right?
They didn't say it was about Nightshade. They said it was about your caped problem.
Okay, so it's theoretically about Nightshade, as far as I know, because there are only a couple of known heroes in the city. One being, you know, Nightshade, the vigilante side of things. One being, you know, the more police side of things, which is Captain Bucky, if my knowledge serves me correctly.
Oh yeah, no, I know Captain Bucky.
So, I mean, at this point, I mean, Henry is presuming, because Nightshade is more on the vigilante side of things, that that's where this is going.
Makes sense.
Also, he doesn't necessarily keep track of the heroes who work with his dad because he wants nothing to do with that.
That also makes sense.
And it also makes sense why, you know, Jacob would be a big fan of our floppy-eared friend.
Hey.
And he looks over. Joey, will you stop just trying to poke at Jacob? You know he's soft. I'm pretty sure if you ask, he'll just let you touch his arm.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Jacob holds his arm out.
He pokes it rapidly.
Just remember, if you come up behind him and poke him and he's not expecting it, he's stronger than I am. Okay? And he probably will jack kick you.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it. You wouldn't really do that, would you, Jacob?
Probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I don't do it. So you guys gotta do something though, right? Like, what if you like break in or go into Samedi's like late at night after everything's closed down, and you corner him and you question him, and you know you like scare it out of him.
You know, or we know there's something crazy going down, and I might be going a little off the deep end when I say this, but when my boss asks me to cater an event, I can always ask, what's it for, so I know what I'm getting into and how to dress. I can always just, you know, do my job.
That's true.
Boring, but true.
You know, for the one in this room, he looks, making sure Michael is still in the dining room, without abilities, you're awfully ballsy.
Well, it's because he's not the one who's going to be doing it, you know.
I'm gonna be at the catering thing though, right? So
Not with that attitude, you're not.
I'll just watch.
No, you'll serve the cocktail weenies.
Ooh. That sounds a lot less... Actually, that doesn't sound very glamorous at all. I don't know why I'm excited.
I know why you're excited.
I know why you're excited.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it sounds like a cocktail party, so it makes sense.
I'm assuming both Henry and Jacob just both look at each other and just face palm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fancy.
Yes, you're excited because you get to wear the tux, I know.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But they can't be color coordinated. They all have to be the black, you know, black Italian, you know, your typical server getup.
That makes me think, though, Henry, how are you going to talk Mr. Samedi into letting two people he doesn't really know help you with that event?
He knows you. How often are you in the restaurant?
Well, yeah, he knows me, but I don't work for him, and neither does Jacob.
Joey. Babe. And he sort of like turns and does this. Who can resist these eyes?
Nobody. Okay, I believe you.
And if it doesn't work out that is, then guess what? I'm still going to be working it. I can let y'all in the back door.
True.
That's true.
You did say he was probably going to ask you to get outside help anyway, so.
I mean, considering I'm the only name he mentioned, and if this is as big as a party as he says it's going to be, he's going to need more people. More than likely, yes.
I guess that makes sense. Oh, how did the Nightshade thing go, Jacob?
It went, you know what? It went quite well. We stopped a bank robbery.
Oh, Henry goes, clicks on the TV. You mean that one?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that's where your parents went.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because before the phone even rang, they just looked and go, answer it, tell them we're on our way to 2. Because apparently people, there's a schedule of how you rob banks in the city.
Yeah. Yeah, second. Yeah, it was the second
International.
Yeah, second international. Yeah. Yeah, the third one is going to be like next whenever. So.
Like, you know, either heroes are getting smarter, or criminals are getting dumber.
Could be a combination of both.
Maybe they're just going through the motions at this point.
Could be.
Well, it's like a contract that banks have to collect on their we got robbed insurance money or something.
Right.
Like, hold on, this is a pawn. This is a triangle scheme.
Right.
That's what this is.
Exactly.
The criminals and the heroes and the insurance companies and the banks, they're all in on it.
Exactly.
It's one big insurance scheme. That's all this is. And Henry is now all excited. Like you see him standing up, like he's getting ready to rip off the shirt, realizes he doesn't have spandex on underneath, and just sort of like,
Calm down.
Out of character, can we actually make this a thing?
Out of character, I'm writing ideas down.
Good.
That just, for the record, that literally just came to me and it just all spouted out.
Right. So Jacob looks at.
I apologize, I broke everybody. That's the show, everyone. Good night.
So Jacob looks at Henry and he just like kind of tells him like, I think it's a much more easier explanation as it's just coincidence, but that's just me. I don't know. But regardless, yes, we were there. We helped stop them before the police showed up.
Yeah, because especially if my dad knows you now, so if he saw you, it'd be bad. It'd be bad. Yeah, no, it'd be bad.
Well, no one saw me outside of my uniform anyway, so. He's an interesting guy. I don't know how much I really trust him, but he did come off as genuine if the player is remembering his Pierce the Mask properly.
He did.
Good. He came off as genuine. It looks like he really just wants to put a team together.
Actually, I'll at least inform you, Jacob. He did come off as genuine, yes, but he also wanted to make a legacy. Like, he talked about making a legacy for himself, which made you, like, I remember, a little bit on edge.
That's right. But as much as he wants to put a team together, I think he wants to do it for himself. I don't think he wants to do it, like, for the good of the city or the good of, like, us. I mean, how do I want to say that? I don't think it's malicious. I think it's more along the lines of he's doing it for himself, and if he can help the city while doing it, more the better. That makes sense?
So it's self-serving in the guise of altruism.
Sure, that's it.
I'll tell you what the words mean later, Michael. Put your hand down. I'll tell you what the words mean later, Joey. Put your hand down.
I know what altruism means.
Yes.
I hope you know what altruism means, Jacob.
Yes, I do. I was kidding.
It's clearly a Pokemon.
I caught that one. It was shiny, too.
Oh, speaking of, he takes out his phone. Have you guys? Am I going to be a nerd if I say I play the Go app?
Yes.
Well, yes, but that's okay. So I got mine too.
But look, it's. And he holds it up. It's like it's just. I'm not sure if you guys have ever played Pokemon Go.
No.
So you've played it, Chammy. So he holds up the phone, and the overworld map is just littered with Magikarp. I think they're having an event with Magikarp. I'm not sure though.
Oh, you're still playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah. One of these has to be golden, right?
I moved on to the next game already, though.
What's like that? What, like the new Masters game?
Digimon Go.
He looks at Jacob, looks back at Joey. Nerd.
Oh,
I mean, Digimon is the superior product.
Out of character, the Digimon show is better, the Pokemon games are better. In character, Jacob, are we fighting? I think we're about to be fighting here.
I don't think so. It's just stating.
Well, there's a way we can end this peacefully, because there is a correct answer to this question. Best Digimon. We'll talk about the whole Digimon line, but best Digimon line.
Greymon, of course.
He shakes his head. All right. Didn't want to do this. Again, forgetting that he doesn't have the spandex on underneath, rips the shirt off. Ooh. Now we're fighting because the answer is clearly Patamon and Angemon.
Actually, you're right. That's a very good point. I forgot about them. It's been a long time since that show was on the air. I forgot.
They're doing it. Yeah.
I didn't say I played it. I just said it was the superior product.
Anyway.
Crap.
You just tore your shirt up for no reason.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. He started looking down. Damn, I do have abs.
You never noticed?
I'm always wearing spandex.
What about in the morning?
You know I'm not a morning person. Look, when I first got these powers, there would be times where I'd be brushing my teeth and I'd look up and half my legs would be dangling down into the room below. You know how awkward and weird that is? Thankfully, whoever's in the apartment, in the condo below, in the apartment section below us, didn't notice the pair of legs sitting there going in the damn ceiling.
I was going to ask, how in the world has no one ever found out about this?
I have a good costume designer.
And also, he's wonderfully bumbly.
Yes, I'm completely like, hey!
It's a compliment. You're
lucky.
very good at looking like you made a mistake.
You're lucky you're cute.
Thank you.
I mean, let's be honest, hold on. I sit there, I have a full mask, the whole thing. Clark Kent puts on glasses and nobody recognizes it. I mean, seriously, how does that even work?
I mean, it's just the laziness of the writers of the DC comic world. You know, they just don't get storylines.
Yeah. I mean, who could just put on like something over their eyes and just look completely different?
Exactly.
Henry just sort of looks and hands up his mask, goes, that's why mine goes over my mouth and nose?
Same. That's why mine covers my head and, you know, pins my ears back, whatnot. It looks kind of nice. I really like it.
Actually, that reminds me. Who designed your costume anyway?
Oh, I did.
You made all that?
Yeah, just things put together, yeah.
You know, I figured you'd accessorize a little bit better for the Wrecking Ball when you like can make a costume like that.
Joey.
I'm just saying, maybe we can make some modifications.
We accessorized him for the Wrecking Ball.
I know. But he wasn't ready with anything himself.
He wasn't planning on going till we dragged him to it by the ear.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Not only that, but, the costume is easy. It's all black.
Oh,
Henry is sort of purple and white and yellow and brown and black and teeth and. No wonder this was such a pain in the butt.
Exactly.
worth it.
Yes, well
Jacob, I was wondering something. Like, you met with Nightshade and you hung out with him, and like you did some training and stuff. Like, are you gonna see him again?
Probably.
Did he give you like a cell phone number?
Did he? I forget.
No.
No.
What he actually did is he gave you a meeting spot where you could leave notes for him.
Right.
He specifically told you to do it on Thursday.
Right. Yeah. No, I can contact him on Thursday.
Why Thursday?
That's what he said.
Sounds like a joke lead up.
I mean, yes. Damn it, Joey!
Well, if we know about this catering thing, then maybe we'll want to tell him about that on Thursday.
Well, depending on what we know,
Right.
because it could be for him, it could be for somebody else. I don't know. It could be a trap to try and get us. How do I know? Although neither one of us were capes, so.
But Jacob's ears kind of look like a cape if you like squint hard.
What?
Well, like if they're flapping in the wind and such, like a little.
I tie my ears together backwards. It's more like aerodynamic.
Right, but I mean they're still like laying back like a ponytail.
Sort of.
Ponytail is not a cape. Anyway, don't you remember? No capes.
Yes, it's a good rule. Only dorks wear capes anyway.
Exactly.
Joey, I've seen the drawings you have of me that have me having a cape on.
I like the capes. I'm sorry. They just flow so nicely and they catch the wind.
Do you understand why I can't wear a cape?
Because you need to make everything invisible and go through the floors, and somebody could grab it if you don't like do it at the right time.
Go get a bed sheet and I'll show you.
Okay. So he runs off to go.
Michael comes in ready to go with it.
Oh yeah, Michael's done this before.
Oh yeah.
So Michael scampers. I got it. I got the bed sheet.
So he takes over and does the whole bed sheet cape like he used to do as a kid, and then goes, "This is why I can't wear capes." And he goes invisible. He goes transparent and goes like incorporeal, and he goes incorporeal, and the cape just goes whoop, and flies to the ground.
Wouldn't that happen with any other clothes you were wearing then?
Yeah, I'm just wondering that.
Apparently, if the clothes are directly touching my skin, they go with. And it only works if it's skin tight, hence the spandex. Trust me, I tried. Do you think I wanted to wear skin tight, barely breathable spandex that accentuates my ass and everything else?
Yes, actually, I think you did. I think you wanted to do that. Yes.
Okay, I wanted to accentuate my ass. I didn't want a whole subreddit involved of people staring at Sauve's junk.
I mean,
And no, you do not go to that subreddit. Neither one of you.
I go there anymore.
not going to say that I know what you're talking about.
I mean, at least Sylvie already has a fan base, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, having a fan base is fine. But, discovering that there's an entire subsection of the internet who literally is just sitting there zooming in on the spandex of all the, intricate, delicate parts of you is a little creepy.
Oh, you should see the stuff they put on about Swiftfoot on the internet. You don't want to.
I can imagine.
I don't think you can, actually.
I'm a ghost and I've heard it all.
I think I'm going looking at pictures of my boyfriend on the internet. Besides, I can get real ones now, both of you.
I'm not showing you my ass.
I would like to point out Henry still has not put his shirt back on.
And Joey still does not mind.
Well,
It's fine, it's fine.
this turned really weird really quickly.
As it always does.
Welcome to Emerald City Issue 5, Thirst Trap.
Oh, responsibilities.
I don't change. New move.
This game is just where TJ and I can just get out raunchy humor for no reason whatsoever. That's the entire point of this game now.
Why do you do it with me? I'm the innocent.
Exactly.
Because we spent half of one of the past episodes literally discussing Sobe's butt.
Yeah, we did.
Good times.
So,
And how fantastic it looked in purple spandex.
so what do we do?
Well, right now it sounds like we can't do anything. So, it sounds like maybe we just gotta wait.
So, other things happened. Got a little bit more information about that formula I found from Dr. Collins.
And Henry says this as he's putting his shirt back on and struggling a little bit because, again, for some reason, at least a size too small.
Right.
The guy reaches up to help you.
Yeah, so apparently, it's only like one portion of the formula. Because it's
How many
called.
portions are there?
Well, the thing is called Psi Delta, and this formula was labeled Psi. So there's still like the Delta. Potentially. But it's apparently somehow tied to Gentech. And I tried asking Nightshade about it, and he told me to stay away from them. He wouldn't really tell me much else. It's probably another reason why I wasn't really trusting him all that much. Not that I told him why it was important to me, though.
So, we're not going to listen to it, right?
Heck no. If they have the keys to, like, what's wrong with me, I'd rather jump in there immediately and try to see if I can fix it. I'd rather not get poisoned to death.
I get that, but jumping right in, probably not the best idea.
I'm a bunny, that's all I do.
Thought you hopped.
Okay, well, still.
Pop is part of a joke.
No, what I mean when I say jump right in, I don't mean, not go investigate, but just jumping in headlong without a plan.
Oh, no,
Bad idea.
plans are good.
Look what happened when we had to improvise the wrecking ball.
And we did great.
We did great. We nearly destroyed the entire thing. My dad's pissed.
But we
also
saved
nearly
we saved everybody. A little bit of collateral damage isn't a problem.
It is when you have to listen to it and have to sit there and get the speech of, I'm just thankful you're not, if you ever had powers like that, you'd tell me, the whole thing, and just sitting there at dinner feeling, like just staring at Michael and just both of us having this look of like extreme, like you don't know that guilty feeling.
Fair. I mean, my parents don't even, like, they hate the vigilante stuff, but they don't suspect me of doing anything like that at all. Mom's just happy I'm getting out with people now.
Your mother's just happy you made friends.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting out and making friends and all that, when can we punch the rabbit who stole your girl?
If it was anyone else, I would just say let her go, do her whatever, but that guy is such an absolute chicken. And I really feel like punching him right in the muzzle.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Do you want to mess with him?
Henry, no, of course not. What you have in mind?
Do Do you know what locker is his?
I could probably find out.
Please do, and then let me know.
I will.
Leave the rest to me.
Ooh, we got a plan.
Okay.
Of course we have a plan. He looks and goes, "Hey, Michael, you want to help out with this?"
Do I?
Sweet. Can you draw me a picture of a rabbit?
Sure. Like you
Uh,
like,
This is a player note. Michael's 10. He can't draw worth crap.
he thinks he can.
Yep.
I can draw one real good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Why do you want him to draw a picture of a rabbit?
At this point, Henry leans in. Because his drawings are absolute crap, and if I make it look like the rabbit's being tortured and make it look like him, it'll be funny.
Okay.
And then he leans in more. I wasn't planning on using the picture of the rabbit. I just wanted him to feel like he was helping.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, by the way, he's already taken with the idea of just run off to grab his construction paper.
Yep.
Construction. Wow. God, that's been a while.
Yep. So, this is the player asking, because I know we've seen him. What color rabbit is he?
Flash is clearly a white rabbit.
Of course he is. What's Penelope? I forget.
You didn't really specify, so we can throw it out and say like Penelope is probably a brown rabbit, somewhat like you,
Yeah.
a little bit darker in tone.
I was thinking lighter, actually, but yeah.
Okay, we can go lighter.
So she's a tan rabbit.
Tan,
That
yeah.
works.
Or golden brown. Or golden brown kind of thing. Or tan.
Caramel bunny. Caramel
There
bunny.
you go. There you go.
I love the look I just got there.
Yes.
It's like 5 thoughts go through my head at once. Like, nope.
Yeah, you're like, okay, that's pretty. Oh, that sounds delicious. Oh god, what's wrong with you? In that order.
And we're like, I've seen the Cadbury commercials.
And now I want a Cadbury cream egg.
Me too. I'm hungry.
Meanwhile, OPT is just like, what have I done?
No. No, Jacob is like, stupid rabbit.
Look, the less I tell you, the less you can claim to know.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Like I said, I wanted her to be happy.
Okay, you saw what he did.
Oh, no.
You-
Yeah. No.
Exactly. There's no, like... Now, I'm probably not the best person to give advice on this type of thing, but I do know a chicken when I see one, and he purposely says it that way because he knows his brother is within earshot.
Right.
And had we not been at the wrecking ball, she would have gotten seriously hurt.
Oh,
if
yeah.
She just evaded.
Yeah.
That is... Look. And then he gets all serious now. He's like, whatever the reason you had for ending that relationship, I can tell it still bothers you.
Of course it does. The reason I broke up with her was, I mean, when I realized or found out that I got infected with this stuff and realized that it was pretty much a timeline situation, I didn't want to bring her along with that. I figured she should be happy with somebody she can actually spend her life with.
Jacob, I get what you're saying. I do. But I saw that not even the interaction, just the look between the two of you at the ball. And I've never seen a look that was both so caring and so painful at the same time. You want to keep your distance from her to keep her safe from what's going on with you. she is trying to move on because you've asked her to, and that's the only reason. And seeing you, especially, partially dressed up the way you were, it just rekindled all those old thoughts she had. You might not have noticed it. They looked at Joey, but we certainly did.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see her again, but it just... Right do I have to drag her into something like this? I don't want to get her in trouble, and two, like... I don't know.
Look. You don't have to drag her into the spandex side of what we do. I probably shouldn't have told her. And he gestures to Joey and Michael, their general area. But I did. So you don't have to get her involved in that part. But when it comes to the, hey, this funky thing's doing funky things to my funky stuff, that part isn't putting her in danger. That part should be her choice. And I'm doing two things right now.
Ooh.
Number one, I'm affirming my identity as normal as opposed to my mask, and switching my mundane and my free. And this feels very much like a comfort and support.
I think it is.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, wowzers. Okay. So, on a 10 plus, you can also add team to the pool or clear a condition yourself. And Jacob, you're able to shift labels or clear a condition if you, or mark potential if you open up to Henry here.
Well, mine's an easy answer. I have no condition, so add that team.
So,
Boing.
he's gonna kind of look away for a moment and just kind of look back at you and is like, maybe you're right. I should probably talk to her about it, but I guess when I first found out, I was not really thinking straight. And I was just looking to cut myself off from everybody because, again, I didn't want to start things or, have people rely on me and then I wasn't going to be here. Plus, I wanted to use these powers a little bit. But at the same time, now with working with not only Dr. Collins, but working with you guys, honestly, maybe there is a chance. Or maybe there is something worth fighting for. And maybe I should tell. Maybe I should tell her. Maybe I should tell her everything. Maybe I should at least tell her what's going on.
Joey actually kind of leans in. Do you want our help?
Actually, yeah. That might be good. I don't know how awkward it'd be if I just walked up to her and asked her to talk to her.
Well, let me ask you a question. If something horrible happened to her potential on-again, off-again jerk of a boyfriend and he ran off leaving her stranded again, who would she go to? Especially if they were conveniently within the area.
And conveniently heroic.
What are you guys thinking?
Henry just sort of looks at Jacob. You said he's a chicken, right?
Pretty much.
So at this point, Henry starts walking towards Jacob, does the whole incorporeal and invisible thing. So it just looks like he's walking down into the floor, pops up behind Jacob, just materializes his head by his ear and goes, boom!
No! Ah! Okay. I knew you could do that, and even that spooked me. One thing right next to the ear, really good hearing. Ow.
Exactly. I can make the noise, and I can make it so that it's only when he sees it. He's going to be seeing ghosts.
Wow.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
All right. Wouldn't say I'd be opposed.
And then just to add fuel to the fire, Henry walks into the kitchen, opens up the fridge. You just hear him rummaging around for something. He gets it. You hear a package sealed back up, shuts it down, closes the door. And then as the door to the fridge closes, he goes incorporeal again, and you just see a floating carrot.
Jacob kind of watches that and kind of like rubs his forehead like, why does everybody like use that stereotype all the time?
This one in particular is because I want it to be a stereotype. I want him to run screaming that there's floating carrots because it's stereotypical. Everyone's going to think he's got a little nuts.
Look, just because he's a rabbit doesn't mean he likes carrots. By the way, were you going to eat that?
He throws it to Jacob.
Thank you.
It's already been washed.
Right. He just starts munching at the carrot. Love these things. Sorry.
Jacob, can you indulge me for just 1 minute?
What's up?
As you're eating that, can I get you to say what's up, Doc?
Always right next to him too. Like
He just blankly stares at both of you.
Please.
No.
that actually feels like a good panel to switch scenes.
It really does.
Like all this build up, no, end scene. So the rest of the night passes on, and we come upon the next day. Are you guys going to enact your plan today, or are you saving it for another time?
I mean,
That's entirely up to Jacob.
I don't know. I say sooner the better.
So today it is then. So, walk me through what's going to happen and when, guys. Like what period, what time of day, what are you even
This
doing?
feels like an after-school thing, personally, but...
So as far as Jacob knows, it's an after-school thing.
Right.
But throughout the day, Henry, if he happens to run across Mr. Flashfoot there, he's going to conveniently just, make it so out of the corner of his eye he just sees like a little like the edge of the carrot coming into peripheral vision, just setting up things during the day.
So as the day goes on, then you do notice that the more you do that Flash does become increasingly agitated. As in, like every time he sees it, his fur raises up a little bit.
And once Henry knows he's sufficiently agitated, he's going to do it again. And then when he looks around, Henry's just going to be leaning up against a locker and just go, take a giant bite out of the carrot.
Weeb. He's gonna walk off.
Was he jumpy about the bite?
He wasn't jumping about the bikes. As soon as he saw you, he was kind of just like, whatever. Like, played it off, they didn't care.
So Henry's going to, at this point, keep going. Make sure he can slip in and out of ghost mode so where no one can see him. He knows all the alcoves in the school to do that with.
Okay, so he's familiar with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So he's going to sort of float up behind Flash.
Now get Flash to stand up straight as his ears shoot ramrod up, and he turns around, and is like, "What? Do you mind?"
There's nobody there.
So when is it that you're doing this? What time of day?
This whole thing happens throughout the day.
Okay, so this last one that was
Yeah, near the end of the day, just Henry's got him properly, on edge.
Okay.
But he doesn't tell Jacob he's doing this and all because, all Jacob knows is the stuff near the end of the day where it's going to be the circle of carrots.
Right.
Yeah, at this point, Henry definitely looks very wired. Like, his eyes kind of like look a little bit like shooting back and forth, and his ears keep twitching at sounds. Like, he's just waiting for the next one.
So at this point, like, now that he's sufficiently twitchy, Henry is perfectly happy and just goes about the rest of his day. And then waits for the signal for everything else to happen.
Alrighty, so the rest of the day goes on pretty normally. And I'm guessing this signal or whatever's happening at the end of the school day.
Well, actually, around lunchtime,
Okay.
Jacob would be kind of scouting the hallways and looking for Flash's locker.
Okay.
Like where his locker is at, because he was asked to, so.
Makes sense. You know Flash well enough, because, I mean, he's one of those kind of guys, that he's like that kind of a guy who hangs out by his locker and chums it up with his buddies, and, like, talks to the girls and such around it, so he's pretty easily found leaning next to his locker. And he even has, like, stuff on the inside of it, but nothing on the front, because this is a clean school.
Right.
But you've been able to find his.
Right, so he makes a mental note of that, and he's actually going to kind of hang around and, kind of do the whole, like, I'm not, like, I'm just standing here, doing my own thing or whatnot, and not listening, although he's completely listening in to, these conversations Chase is having, whatnot, just to,
Flash,
sorry. Chase, wow.
it's alright.
Now you're getting the games intermingled.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's listening, especially listening to see if he's, like, hitting on other girls while being while having Penelope as his girlfriend.
Ooh, okay. You would probably pick up on the fact that he does, like, hit on other girls lightly, but he doesn't do anything that's actually too heavily advanced towards them.
Okay.
But he definitely doesn't, like, refuse it when they, like, giggle at him or anything like that.
Yeah, but that's...
Yeah, I'm huff stuff.
But what I mean more along the lines of he's looking to see if he's actually starts making any moves on anybody else while dating Penelope.
You do not see him doing that.
Okay, well... kind of nods to himself like, well, at least he's not a complete and utter scumbag.
You just sit there and you eavesdrop on him.
Mm-hmm.
So, at one point during your eavesdropping, because of the way things have been kind of going throughout the day, you do notice him kind of like do one of those sudden jumps as he kind of like looks behind him real quick. And like one of his bros there is like, "Whoa, what's up, man?" And he just straightens his leather jacket. He like plays it off. It's like, "Oh, I'm good." And you can tell yourself like observationally that something's bugging him today.
So you get the little brow arch, but he just kind of obviously doesn't say anything, but he just kind of like looks down, gives a slight shake of his head, and just turns and starts walking off. The little smirk on his face, like, "Oh, Henry, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it, bro."
So we come to the end of the day. What, pray tell?
Before that, does Jacob let Henry know where the locker is before the end of the day?
Oh, yeah. However, we can... Well, I just text him.
Okay, so when we get to the locker, I'll explain what he does. But because Henry knows where the locker is, he will be able to enact the full portion of this plan.
Okay. I'm looking forward to what this is going to be.
Me too.
Okay, so we come to the end of the day. And everybody's going back to their lockers at the end of the day after having their last class. And it's a nice, happy Wednesday, so nobody's really happy because you all got lots of homework in school. Still like 2 days left. So.
Right.
So Mr. Flash goes over to his locker and swings it open to get his backpack and get out of there.
And hanging in the locker from a string is the half-eaten carrot that Henry has been chomping on in his ears all day.
Wow.
So Flash sees that, and he immediately does one of those things where he like tries to kind of like swear, but it's like caught in his throat as he's kind of like shaking his fists and he rips out the carrot. And he like pulls up, and you hear this bellowing in the hallway saying, "Okay, who did this?"
So as he's turned away from the locker, looking, yelling, Henry goes in.
You cut off Teach.
That's the important part.
Yeah, oh, sorry. So as he's facing the hallway, bellowing about this, Henry goes in full ghost and hangs another half-eaten carrot in the locker. And then you just get a text. You just get a text from Henry that says, "Operation 24 Carrot is a go."
Okay.
Carrot spelled Carrot.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I got you.
So, by the way, it is the end of the school day, so that means the halls are pretty busy. But almost all the students like stop around the area when they hear him like yelling about this. And he just is like going off, saying like, "Somebody's been bugging me all day about this stupid carrot, and they hang it in my locker." He turns around and he sees the other carrot in there, and he just flips out. And like he's saying basically unintelligible words at this moment as he pulls another one, and he like looks from side to side. And Jacob,
At this point, Henry has sort of just ghosted himself in the locker below because he assumed Big Jock has the upper locker. He doesn't tie a carrot to a string this time. He just reaches up and puts another uneaten carrot on top of the books and puts his hand back down.
top of the books in the locker.
Yeah, so there's just now an uneaten carrot sitting on top of the books.
Gotcha.
like a one-bite carrot out of it.
So Flash is holding up these two half-eaten carrots as he's like turning around. He's trying to look for the people who are the nearest to him. Jacob, where are you in relation to this?
Oh, I'm kind of like down the hallway, you know. I'm close enough to see and hear what's going on, but I'm not close enough that he would like look at me and be like, "Oh, it's you," kind of a thing. He's keeping his distance, whatnot. Although, like, every new carrot, he does get slightly closer.
So, at this point, Flash is looking from side to side because he knows like whoever put up this carrot, they had to be right there. So he looks to his sides, and he sees his two bros there, standing on either side of him. And, like, he immediately just kind of, like, eyes them. And without even, like, asking a question, he, like, smashed the carrots into both of them. And they're like, "Dude, what gives?" And he's like, "Yeah, you give!" It's like, "Stop with the carrots!" Like, it's enough! And so he turns around to grab his books, sees the carrot on top of it, that's just laying there, and he's just seething. And he just takes the carrot, whips it down the hallway at like lightning speed, and like shoves his books into his bag.
At this point...
Hold on. No,
go ahead.
at this point, Jacob does walk past, you know, like looking like he's just walking by, and he's after like right as Flash is like throwing these things, and he looks at it and he's like, "What's up, Doc?"
At this point, that's the perfect thing. So Henry now at this point has sort of emerged from the locker. He's now sitting on top of the locker, and he's got the stereotypical like stick and a line fishing pole. And as he throws it this way, he casts the line so there's just a floating carrot in front of his face. As Flash turns back around to the carrot. The only thing you can see is the carrot, because Henry has found a way, because the string is invisible, because it's a string. It's like fishing wire, so he just got the carrot now fishing in front of his face.
Wow. Okay.
And as soon as he sees it and makes a big deal about it, Henry is going to make the carrot go invisible. So if anyone else gets, there's no carrot.
Yeah, okay. Like, I'm trying to think, it's like, well, I can make a roll for this. Like, no, this is simple enough. It's a low-level prank. Like, this is super easy for you.
Henry's been practicing all day.
This is true, too.
So, with Jacob's, like, little taunt, like, he immediately blusters at you, and he's, like, gonna raise his fist to, like clock you in the face, but then he sees that carrot fly right back in front of him, thanks to Henry's little trickery, and, like, he just kind of stops as he sees that thing float in front of him. He, like, jumps back from it like it's a wasp or something coming to bite him.
And then no one else sees the carrot, just him. it's immediately invisible.
It goes invisible.
Like, so Jacob's
yeah.
looking around, playing dumb, looking around like, what? What was that? Like what are you reacting to? You know?
There was what did you...
I was standing right here in front of you. I wasn't doing anything. What are you looking at?
He's kind of like shakes his carrots, and he storms out.
Well, look, as he's yelling carrots, Henry sort of floats down, gets right by his ear.
So, at that, he goes rigid white, and he just dashes out as fast as he can from the hallway, shoving people down on his way.
So, this is the final part of the plan that's being enacted.
Oh, good.
So, if you remember the drawing that Henry had his brother draw,
Yes.
him and Joey also stayed up a little bit. You know how currently we have like the one-way signs, in aisles?
Yeah.
Henry kind of figured which way, he would be getting this guy to run because of the way he would be doing everything. So as he's running into the next hallway, on the wall, there's like the arrows, but the arrows are all pointing carrots in that direction. And they point to the horrible picture of the bunny that was drawn by Michael. All taped to the wall, which is what he had Joey doing for this project.
There's a series of pictures that point towards this rabbit.
You would.
Yeah. Did you swallow static?
Your mic is like something.
See, how do I
There we
set
go.
it now?
Now you're better.
Yeah. So basically, like these pictures of carrots they printed out and colored in. Basically, you just copied a coloring book page of carrots.
Right.
And they stuck them to the wall so it looks like arrows pointing. And the last picture on the wall is the horrible bunny that Michael drew. So it looks like just a regular old white bunny that's like partially disfigured, half terrified, because a 10-year-old drew it.
Right.
Balls and lines.
Yep. And I would like to point out the 3 carrots in the locker, plus the 1 on the string,
Right.
plus the 20 pictures on the wall. 24 carat.
Your mic again. Something's up with your.
I don't know the headset.
Sounds like it actually.
Yeah, because you wiggle it and every now and then it gets good, so
It's not a wire thing.
it's probably a wire thing.
Yep.
That's frustrating. Oh well.
Back.
Nope. Sorry, I was just saying you committed to the bit.
Oh, it's Henry. Of course he did.
Of course
Of
he
course he did. So, he sees these carrots, and against his better judgment, because they're basically like arrows, he starts following them to that picture.
And Henry ghosting right beside him just after he gets by when taking the carrot pictures down.
And all Flash is trying to do now is just exit the building.
There's one final prank that Henry has ready to go. After he sees the picture and all that. There's going to be Joey waiting outside, munching on a carrot. Innocently munching on a carrot.
Of course. So, Flash runs out of that one of the side doors, and he sees Joey like just kind of like innocently munching on a carrot, and we get this nice panel spread of like Flash's face doing like one of those like disbelieving horror things, as Joey's just kind of casually eating, and then you just see like basically like a cloud of dust there as Flash just dashes off down the sidewalk, leaving the school behind.
At this point, Henry, in physical regular form, walks out of the hallway that Flash was just in and looks at everyone and goes, what was his problem? He looked like he's seen a ghost.
Everybody's kind of stunned just at the major outbursts from Flash in general. And yeah, everybody just starts questioning, like, what was up with him? It's like, is he on drugs? It's like, what's he doing?
Henry just shoots Jacob a knowing glance, then casually goes, grabs his backpack, turns out, and goes to meet Joey.
So where's Penelope in all of this?
That's a
I
good
gave you your opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking around for, actually.
Well, Penelope in this situation, considering it was just at the end of the day, was probably on her way towards Flash's locker. So this whole thing happens, and one of the people Flash runs past and knocks down in his effort to get out of the building is Penelope.
Oh.
Like, he doesn't knock him down hard, but he definitely pushes her aside.
Right. So, as she's getting herself up, Jacob would be standing there to offer to help her up and stuff.
She gets up and she sees you, and she actually jumps initially at first, because she's not expecting to just see you there. And she says, Jacob, what was Flash's problem?
I don't know, something. Maybe he's allergic to carrots?
That's maybe. I didn't realize that.
I don't know. Hey, I was wondering, can we talk?
Her face falls at that, and she kind of like looks off to the side. And she kind of answers a little bit flatly, saying, "Are we gonna do this now?"
Do what?
She just sighs and says, "Fine, okay. Let's find some place where there's not a lot of noise everywhere."
Outside's good.
So she shoulders her backpack and her purse.
Jacob has his backpack on already and just kind of follows her lead, so to speak.
He's following you.
Oh,
like, you want to talk, so where's outside at?
Yeah, just outside, like, outside the school where there's not really anybody around.
Alright.
Although, like, probably walking right past Henry and Joey so they see them walking off. But, yeah, he doesn't want to, like, he goes to maybe the school has, like, picnic tables someplace, just someplace where there's nobody at because everybody's leaving.
Makes sense, yeah. The school does have, like, a couple of picnic tables, and there's, like, a nice little, somewhat alcove, not too far from, like, the old practice field that the football doesn't really use.
Nice. So he walks over there and kind of sits on one of the tables itself and just kind of motions for her to either sit next to him or just sit someplace or just stand there or something.
She definitely remains standing.
Right. Look, I'm not here to say that we should get back together. I want to tell you what actually happened, and then I want you to make a choice rather than myself.
What actually happened? What are you talking about?
The reason why I pushed you away and pushed everybody else away.
Joey and Henry at this point go to the next adjacent picnic table. They're both munching on carrots, by the way.
Of course they are.
Right. Look.
There was extras.
Yeah. Bag comes with 30. So, so, he's like, look, there's something I haven't really told pretty much anybody. Even my parents. And it's mostly because, one, I didn't really want to worry a lot of people, and two, honestly, I didn't really know how to take it. So instead of taking it in any positive way, which this isn't much of fun, but instead of doing something positive about it, I just shut down and pushed everyone away from me.
She kind of stares at you, and she just kind of says, "Okay."
Thinking about this now, it's gonna be really hard to mention without making it seem like I'm trying to get sympathy. a number of months ago, it's been a bit now, I was infected on purpose with a virus.
He steps back from you with that.
It's not contagious, but it's killing me.
Killing you how? Like, is it cancer?
Not quite, but he looks up at his ears. It's like, do you remember me doing this? He points to his ear coloring.
Went up there when you started dyeing your ears? I mean, it was weird, but...
I didn't dye them. This is happening to me.
Okay, what does this mean?
As far as I can tell, it's kind of like an indication of my life force being drained out of my body.
Your life force being drained up. Listen, if you just... Jacob, if you just wanted to kind of like wiggle out of making me feel bad that you broke off our relationship, there are better ways to do it.
I'm not kidding. I'm being
At
very...
this point, Henry looks over, sort of with the look in his eyes of, do you want me to confirm your story or not? Just waiting for a nonverbal cue from me.
Yeah. He kind of gives a quick, like, give me a second.
Alright.
But, he looks at the bracket and is like, I'm not kidding about this, and I'm not making jokes, and I'm not lying about it either. At the time, I didn't know who did it. At the time, I didn't really know what it was. I've been meeting with a friend of mine, a new friend of mine in secret for the past number of months now, because he knows about this. We've been trying to develop some kind of a cure. In the meantime, it is doing some very strange things to my body.
What you're talking about just sounds... I mean, it sounds kind of wild, Jacob. You do realize that, right?
Oh yeah, no. I know it sounds very wild.
And you didn't tell me about any of this when we were dating?
I didn't want to. But it's dawned on me that it's dawned on me as what I've did instead of informing the rabbit I loved. I just made the decision for both of us, and that was wrong of me. The fact is, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but I don't want that to be months. And you deserve to have somebody who will be with you for as long as you live. And if I'm going to die a couple months from now because of this thing, or whatever, I didn't want you to have to see that and be somebody else to just be there to watch that happen. I didn't want that to happen.
You know, this is actually a good opportunity. If you'd like to, you can roll to provoke on this. Because you're trying to get her to believe you.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Try to do it myself and then see. Then I might need help. Oh! Okay. So, I'm probably gonna need Henry to come in after this, but,
At a plot convenient time.
Yeah!
Henry can't help you.
No. I mean more along the lines of, okay, so I failed horribly, so.
Yeah, you did.
Question.
Far away.
No, never mind. She would have influence over you, not the other way around.
Right.
Forget my asking.
Yeah.
Right.
No, he's clearly just way too nervous.
These things, and like, you basically like pouring your heart out to her.
Right.
And all she hears, like after all of this, you hear this, like you see this like weird look kind of going over her face. And she said, "You know, Jacob, the one thing you said there that just was very clear to me is that you loved me. That you did."
I still do.
It's tense. And you didn't trust me enough to tell me this. It's like, how do I know you're going to trust me, like, in the future? You realize I can't make a choice like this, right? Do you know what you're putting on me?
See,
Like, telling me that my boyfriend was, like, dying, and, like, now I have to, like, feel bad about the fact that you had to leave, that you're going through all this, and that maybe the way I've been acting, like, maybe that was hurting you, and so now you're making me feel guilty about this?
no.
And, no, this is all your fault, Jacob. Like, I can't right now. Alright? Like, if you want me to feel pity for you, that's one thing, but,
I don't want you to do anything. I just wanted to tell you.
well, fine, you told me. What do you want me to do now?
Not be as angry about it.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel right now. And
Now he looks over at Henry like, oh. Look, I didn't do this, tell you this because I wanted you to feel bad and just come back to me. I didn't want that.
what do you want?
I wanted you to know. I wanted you to know what happened because I don't know. It just saw the way we interacted afterwards, and it felt wrong. In so much as like there was a part missing, and it was because you had no idea why. And I wanted to let you know, and I wanted you to understand that it was just my stupid mistake.
He frowns at you. And, she kind of stands up a bit straighter. And she says, Jacob, I care about you. Alright? I've always cared about you, and I still care about you. But, right now, I was trying to get things together, and I thought I had things figured out, and I just don't know what to do right now. I can't give you an answer about any of this right now. I don't even know what I want to do.
There's nothing
like,
to answer. Penelope, I just wanted you to understand what happened. That's all. You can do whatever you want to. I just don't want you to be mad about it.
I'm just mad because because I don't know what else to do.
Penelope, the thing you should do is the thing you're really good at. Being that caring that caring rabbit that you always are. Not necessarily towards me, just be that happier bunny I know. Not, again, not at me, just take a breath. You're much sweeter than this. And I know, I said, you're right. It's my fault. It is. I should have told you when it happened. I should have told a lot of people when it happened. But, one, I was kind of embarrassed. Two, I really didn't know what I should be doing about it. And three, this virus is actually, has some odd fringe benefits to it.
She kind of raises her brow at that.
I'm faster. I'm apparently a bit stronger. And, apparently I have some kind of psychic powers now.
You actually just say that outright?
Yeah.
Okay. And that her eyes just kind of like widen and her jaw kind of drops a little bit. And she just kind of like shakes her head at you. And she actually like puts her hand out, like puts it on your forehead to like feel it. And I'm guessing you don't feel feverish at the moment. That's of you.
He actually might feel hot, I don't know.
You might. But she kind of like steps back from you.
Yeah, it sounded crazy, didn't it? Probably.
I need some time.
I probably could have phrased that better.
I need some time. And she turns around and she starts walking away.
Penelope.
She kind of like does one of the things where she holds up her hand, and she just kind of like keeps walking.
I just wanted to say goodbye, and I still care about you too.
And you're not sure if your words reach her or not, because she like rounds the side of the building.
She's a rabbit. It happened.
Well, you're not sure if she cared to hear them or not.
Right.
But she rounds the side of the building there, and as you see her pass and not look at you at all, mark guilty.
That's the thing I just cleared.
There you go, you got it back. Long time no see, buddy. So, Henry, you just watched this whole scene happen. What do you do?
I'm gonna walk over to Jacob, sit down. I pictured that in my head much better.
Yeah. He actually kind of looks at you, Henry, and he just kind of looks actually somewhat pissed off. And he's like, "This is why I didn't want to tell her." Like that, he actually just kind of stands up and just starts walking away.
Jacob.
What?
Let me ask you a question, and then you can be as mad at me as you want. Reverse the roles. How would you feel?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
So how do you think she feels right now to have that dropped on her? Like, yes, we all have this look, this vision in our head that, oh, we're going to tell people and everything's going to be okay. And it might be. But thinking about it, it's not a improper or incorrect reaction. Give it time.
She didn't even listen to me.
Do you want me to go talk to her?
I can't.
I just sort of look at Joey, give him the don't. You sort of give him the look of like, make sure this one doesn't do anything stupid look, and he'll rush off to try and catch a rabbit.
Well, as he does, like I didn't write that. Oh, okay, whatever.
No, he just kind of like says, "Don't worry."
It's Henry. He's extra. He does this.
Right.
Yes, he's pretty good at that talking thing.
Jacob actually, he kind of stands there. He actually looks like he's about to cry.
Joey actually hugs on you, and he's actually kind of like saying, "No, you did good. You did really good."
He hugs him back. It's because he's the one there right now.
Henry is disappointed he's not getting fluffy bunny hugs.
Well, when he comes back, he'll get fluffy bunny hugs.
Why do you think Joey volunteered to stay?
Right.
He'll get fluffy bunny hand to the face.
Possibly. Depends on how that goes.
So, I mean, Henry is, attempting to find pissed off, angry Tan Bunny.
Okay. So, are you just running to find her, or are you gonna do something special and, like, pass through walls to try to catch up to her or something?
I mean, I know the direction she ran off of. Henry's, gonna... Basically, his plan is to find where she's going, and then once he gets there, sort of run up, like, and make it look like he's been running a lot more, like he's out of breath type of deal.
Okay. So, you do see her, and you can see her kind of, like, storming off and, like, kind of, like, stamping, and she, like, is walking towards... like a pretty common walk-away point for students where they're starting to walk home, and
Yeah. He's gonna run up. Penelope, right?
Oh yeah, didn't see you there. I'm sorry. I'm just dealing with whatever. What was your name again? Henri?
Henri works. That's the Creole pronunciation.
Well, I kind of want to get home here, but what's up? You look kind of like you were running a mile there.
I kind of was, and if you want to tell me to just go bleep off, you can. But I might have kind of overheard most of what just went down between you and the other rabbit in the park bench.
Immediately followed that, and she's like, you heard that?
Well, he wasn't particularly quiet.
She kind of looks at us, neither was I.
And you looked upset and thought maybe you could use someone to talk to for a minute.
I heard what he said, right? The thing about, like, psychic powers and thinking, like, getting sick is making him stronger, and if he really is sick and he thinks it's making him better, and I don't even know what to do with that.
And does she stop, or has she continued to walk? Like home?
Stopped, and she's looking at you.
Okay. Let's say, because if she wanted to walk home, Henry would walk home with her, because he can just fly back to where he needs to.
Yeah.
And Henry goes, yeah, I heard that, and I was a little shocked by that. A lot shocked by that. You don't ever expect to hear that, but I didn't hear the same thing you say. I heard that it was making him faster, stronger, but that he was trying with a friend of his to find a way to stop it. But he wanted you to know in case they couldn't.
Yeah, and it was sweet of him to tell me and to actually finally let me know about that. But I overreacted, and he's gonna hate me. And
No, he's not. I could see, even as you were walking away, angry, I could see his eyes, and he's not going to hate you. If anything, he's mad at himself.
he's kind of like looks very frustratedly down. And and she looks at you, Henry, and says, "Do you know anything about Jacob? Like, I assume, like, you know at least a little bit about him."
So what I know is I randomly ended up bumping into him. The only reason I know anything about you two at all is because I randomly bumped into him, and me and my boyfriend, we needed a third person for our group for the wrecking ball, and we kind of guilt-tripped him into doing it. And then in the wreckage and the aftermath, we were all kind of sitting in the ambulance and checked up, and
I saw the way you two looked at each other. And the only other thing I know is that when we went to Jacob's house to tell his mother we were kidnapping him, you would have thought we had hung the moon with how excited she was that he made friends.
That's why he was there.
Yeah, that's my fault. That's totally my fault. Also, I apologize if the tuxedo was all color wrong. That was totally me.
Oh no, it looked good. Just I wasn't ready to see him at that point. But fine. So you've hung out with Jacob a little bit. Then you know then as well as I do that whatever's going on here with this virus and him being sick, he's going to take it all on himself. He's going to see himself as being the solution to this problem. That's why he's meeting with somebody to try to find a cure and do all this stuff. And all I can do is watch.
No. We both can do something. We can be there. We can be friends. Because when you try to go through something alone, that's the hardest part. If you sit there and you have people who may not have the abilities that you do, if we're to believe what he says. But just having people there to support, to be there, that's more help than you can imagine. And that's not something that me or Joey could give. We can be there, but not in the way that you can. And I understand that getting mad and running off because we were just as shocked about everything as you were. But it's one thing to be mad and upset. It's another thing to completely dismiss everything. And if you want nothing to do with this, then I get it. Because I don't necessarily know if I want to be involved with this virus and being purposely poisoned, and I don't know. But
You're already involved?
I dragged him to the wrecking ball, and I just overheard all of this. By default, I'm involved.
Right. I hear what you're saying. I really do. And I know nobody wants to be alone when they're really scared like this. And I know Jacob is probably scared or frustrated or everything. I don't know what'll happen if I'm there to support him and then he tries to push me away again. I don't want to go through that twice.
If he tries to push you away, you slap him upside the head and tell him to smarten up. If he's got all this new strength that he says he does, the slap's not going to hurt him that much. And if you'd like, I can slap him instead.
No, it's fine. I can take care of any slapping.
Oh, I have no doubt, but, I figured I'd ask, and he sort of looks at his hand. What?
I've hurt her. What? What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay. Anyway, I appreciate you coming over and trying to speak on his behalf. And
I'm not speaking on his behalf here. Do you really think that if I told him I was doing this, he would have let me do it?
oh no, stubborn as he is, probably not.
So yeah, no. I may have just stuck my boyfriend with him and said, go hug the crying bunny, and I ran off here.
Oh, he's crying. Oh, and I made him do that. Alright.
Look, I'm not saying go back here. I'm just saying you
are going to be the best thing for him getting through this.
She actually kind of looks off to the side a little bit as she's clearly thinking about something. And then she nods and says, okay.
And technically, I can trigger these off of NPCs. I believe this is a comfort and support.
I guess technically, yes.
The rule technically is NPCs will always open up if the situation applies it. So
Okay.
if she has guilty mark, which I'm assuming she does, she gets to. Anyway, carry on.
Obviously, she was in the process of opening up. But she says, all right, all right. I'm gonna need to talk to him. Of course, obviously. But right now my head feels so jumbled. And no, it makes sense. I agree with you. I am gonna do something to help. I don't know how friendly we can be or how friendly we want to be, but I don't want to make things worse for him.
We can be as friendly or adversarial as you want us to be.
I have to go home. But, Henri, if you see Jacob, before I do next time, and you tell him that you did this, just tell him I'm sorry.
You want me to tell him I talked to you?
I'm not sure how close you are, if you will or won't anyway.
Or do you want me to play it off like I couldn't find you and catch up to you?
Don't let him know.
As long as you promise not to push him away and give him a chance, I won't let him know.
Yeah. And thank you for telling me this way before I did something I'll regret.
Couldn't help myself. It just felt like I needed to.
And with that, she kind of gives you like a small smile, and she walks off home.
So to play off the facade that Henry did not run into her, he's going to basically make his pathway back, like he did a big loop around and come out the other side. He's obviously going to go fly there because he doesn't have to walk and he's lazy. So he's going to come out and just sort of. I couldn't catch up to her, I'm sorry.
So, when you get back, Jacob is still, like, hugging Joey tightly at this point, and he's just still kind of, like, bawling his eyes out.
Aww.
So Henry says that, looks up, kind of hears that you're still crying, and knows how long he's been gone, and goes, "Have you two been doing this the entire time I've been gone?"
He's got some lungs on him.
So, it's actually, like, the first, like, real emotional outburst he's had since getting infected, so it's kind of been one of those long pent-up things.
Aww. And Joey's, of course, like, definitely doing his best to comfort you and,
Mm-hmm.
like, be there to help you out. He also looks at Henry with a bit of surprise. You couldn't catch her?
Yeah, no, I mean, he sort of leans in and goes, there were too many people for me to do the way I wanted to, so I had to do it the normal way. And I'm sorry, human, rabbit. One of these things is faster than the other.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. Sorry, Jacob.
And, Jacob, I'm sorry if you want to hate me. Go ahead. I'm the one who kind of put you up to this.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
Kind of just like shakes his head, like he's not making any intelligible kind of sound right now, though.
And technically, OPT, I need your opinion on this. Do you question anything that Henry just said, or you flat out believe him 100%?
The state Jacob's in right now, he would completely believe you because he's not even
Okay.
thinking straight about it.
Okay. I only ask because technically I have a specific move for what I just did.
Oh yeah.
When you use your civilian identity to attempt to trick, deceive, or slip past somebody,
Yeah.
mild-mannered would have triggered if you had any questions about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
He's probably a little bit too distraught to hang on to that yet.
Do we want to start walking somewhere? Anywhere that's not the middle of school grounds?
So Jacob finally lets go of Joey. It's literally the first time he's let go of him since Henry's been gone.
At this point, there's just, like complete bunny sobbing on Joey's shoulder.
It's like a
Henry,
damp spot.
Oh yeah.
yeah, Henry just sighs, and because I did mention he was wearing a t-shirt earlier, takes off his collared shirt and hands it to Joey and be like, "This one's dry."
Thanks.
And as I said, the t-shirt is just a white t-shirt with black lettering that has the symbols you see in chat, but it's square root of -1, 2 square 3, the Greek symbol for some, and then pi. And underneath it says, "And it was delicious." For you math nerds, the square root of -1 is the imaginary number I, and 2 to the root of 3 is 8. So I ate some pie.
Right.
It was delicious.
Huh.
Henry's showing his nerdy side today.
The eye
I
thing I
didn't know he
didn't know,
was-
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes. I saw the blank look, so I felt I needed to explain.
Yes, no, that's good.
Appreciated. Very much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So Jacob he kind of starts breathing and is kind of calming down a little bit. Sorry, I had a lot to let out.
Joey's getting on the new shirt, and he's kind of smoothing himself out, and he says, it's okay. Like, anybody would cry after all that.
It's oddly the most emotional I felt since I got infected. I didn't cry even when I realized I was gonna die.
Oh,
Henry, I screwed up. I pushed everybody I knew away. I was so scared about this. I stopped talking to people. I stopped making any friends whatsoever. I even alienated myself from my family for the most part.
He looks at you. I know. We kind of had to force you to go to the ball.
He looks up at you and he's like, is there any hope for me at all? gonna make it through this?
He sort of looks at you and smiles. Look, if I didn't think there was hope, would I have just sprinted around the entire school grounds trying to find Jarif's girlfriend?
So, I just activated a team move.
Yep.
When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, give them influence over you, which you already have, so you'll be shifting my labels here. And ask them if they honestly think there's any hope for you. If they say yes, mark potential or clear one box of your doom track. If they say no, mark a condition or mark one track of your doom track. I only have three ticks in my doom track, and I haven't even cleared it once, so I think I might just take potential.
And as for Swappy McSwappy and all that, this is, and I use the term, because we know the term, this is the most human you've sort of been. So this is, Henry's going to shift your mundane up and your danger down.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Kind of shudders a bit. It's like, yeah, thanks.
Joey looks over at Henry. Says, "Hey, you have work later, right? Why don't we maybe I'll get something to eat before then."
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go for something.
Milkshakes are usually pretty good.
Ooh, I can go for that.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you guys are off towards the malt shop.
Yep.
Ye old malt shop.
Yeah.
Because each word has to end with an E. Ye old malt shop.
Jacob will make like a quick call home, just to let his mother know that he's going to be hanging out with his friend, and he'll be home later.
When you run it out like that, like a multi shop. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, yeah, as I said, Jacob just calls home real quick, just to tell her mom that he's gonna be out.
Send you back one of those like mom emojis that some people have. That's just like a big smiley face saying, "So proud of you."
Thanks, Ma.
And as you guys are walking towards the malt shop, you get another text on your phone, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look down, you can see it's actually from Penelope.
Oh.
Yes.
He just opens it.
Okay, cool. Not one of those guys who just tosses it away.
No.
Good man.
No.
Okay, so you open the message, and in it, Penelope writes to you, and she says, "I'm sorry, I overreacted. I didn't mean to get so upset." And then she immediately texts back after that and says, "What are you infected with anyway?"
So he texts back to her first, in response to the first text. It's okay. I completely understand. And after she asks, he kind of pauses and thinks about it for a moment, and he's like, I guess I'll tell her, and types back Psi Delta.
So she texts back to you again, and she says, "You always take things on yourself. I want to let you know that you're not going to be taking this on alone anymore. I'm going to try to help."
He texts back, That's it. Text back. I really do appreciate that. I am not alone, but I don't know what you could do to help. But please don't put yourself in danger.
Looks back to you and says, there's no danger in being a friend, with a smiley face. And with that, I think we're going to end our comic for the night.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Got this last moment of him just, like, looking at his phone, like, this happy smile on his face. Which is, yeah, this warm, happy smile.
oh, that's a good panel to end on.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, that was Emerald City. So, once again, for Bay City Comics, this is Chameleon Ice with OPT Lawyer and TGE, and we're signing off for the night. Thank you for coming, everybody.